think the rain has stopped. Does help though, because it makes the background pop a little better when it's dark. Usually it's light right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good here.
Yeah, look good. All right, so we're live on Instagram. Let's see, Facebook.
Let's see how I can flip my camera because I know I'm backwards, but I don't know how to do that.
See, you look normal to me. Where's X? Good there, good there. Too many buttons.
Yep.
And we're good.
Okay.
We'll get going. So Monday, there's no holiday. Monday or anything? Let me think.
No.
7th. It's prom this weekend for us at our high school, but nothing else going on.
It seems early.
It is
and then our principal at our staff meeting today said, only 50 days left in the school year. Like, what?
Well, I mean, we've already all had spring break around here. Like everybody's done with spring breaks here. And
we have a February break. That was when we went on our trip. So that kind of pushes things a little for us.
Yep. Yeah. There's nothing happening. Easter's still a couple weeks away. All right. Yeah, my wife's gotten it down because she is retiring.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, she's pumped. She needs to get out. She's
I mean, with every job, and especially with teaching, there comes a time when you just like, I feel like I'm done.
Yep, 28 years.
That's long enough.
Yep, that's it. All right, here we go. 2670. All right.
Okay, that's my cat. So if you hear a siren in the background,
that's all right.
My cat is begging for attention.
I hear you. I box Riley out, or else she'd be right on my lap too. All right, here we go. Welcome to. Let me try that again. Welcome to episode 2670 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Ralbin from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had an outstanding weekend wherever this show finds you. And hope you have a great week moving forward. Let's get out there and, get back to work, be productive, and make this a great spring week. And today we're going to do that with a fun trip report with one of our friends of the show. You've heard him here. And last time when he was on the show, man, he was under the weather. I'll tell you what. Eric, you powered through that show.
And I found out afterwards, degree fever. I don't even know. Like, I should not have signed it. I just said, look, I'm out.
Well, here's the thing, because this is one of the most educator friendly podcasts out there, because I spent 17 years in the classroom. My wife is in her 28th year of teaching. We love our teachers, and teachers go in even when they're under the weather. They're there for students all the time. And you were there. You're like, you know what? We're going to make this podcast happen. I'm not going to cancel out. And you powered through. And that's what our teachers do. And I just wanted, before we get going today, because I know it is April in a lot of places around the country, getting ready for standardized testing. Because in here, the end of the school year is on the horizon. Like you can see it. And Eric and I were talking in the pre-show. They're down to 45, 50 days till summer vacation. So you can see it. You could almost taste it, right? I mean, a lot of and teachers notoriously have these, June hits, and then boom, it's time to go to Walt Disney World. July on the East Coast. Get out of school. First place you do, head to Florida. That's what I used to do, right? And
right.
Great. So you got all these good things going, but hey, hang in there, because this is the hardest stretch. The kids get wild, they're out of control. It's nuts, and it seems like the principals are throwing in all these extra things on you. I just want to tell you, you're appreciated, and you can make it. So hang in there. We love
the kids. They really need their April vacation right now.
The teachers 10 times more.
They need spring break. It was nice. Our vacation, our school is one of the few districts anymore that has a full vacation around President's Day. So that was when my trip was. This was this February. We were there the 9th through the 9, 10, 11, 12, 15th or 16th, which is a good long time. And February is a great time to go. The parks were not crowded, except, it was President's Day weekend. And there were the cheerleaders who were there the weekend before President's Day weekend.
Yep.
I think I posted that in the Discord. Like, we were behind cheerleading groups I was behind cheerleading groups a few times. And there would be like just this horde of girls. You're going to a ride, and then like 32 people just like flow in front of you because they just appeared out of nowhere.
Story of my life. I mean, I'm a cheerleader, so yeah, I know this is, I call it, Attack of the Bows.
It was nice. We heard all the gossip too, because they were talking about what was happening at Chair, how they did all that. It was nice. They were having a ball. They were just having a lot of fun.
Funniest thing about cheerleaders is like the younger cheerleaders, like I'd say like 12 and below, 32 of them will all talk at the exact same time. I mean,
yes,
if they can communicate somehow, it's like the eighth wonder of the world. They can all talk at the same time, and they all like can hear each other. But when they get to like 14
at the same time inside the queue for Toy Story Mania is a lot of chatter.
It is.
Yeah.
But I will say when they get to 14 and above, then nobody's talking. Everybody's just looking down at their phones, and they're kind of moody.
I was very happy to say that I did not see much of that. It might be that like chaperones have gotten to the point where no phones while you're there. I've got it. I'll book the lightning lanes if we have it. And it was really nice. We got into some great conversations with the coaches in line, because one of the great things about Disney is you talk in line.
Yeah.
I got behind a group that came in second, and the woman was just so proud about being second in their division that they got everyone the Premier Lightning Lane pass.
Wow.
She said, like, the sponsors provided the money. It was just kind of like an extra thing. So yeah, it was awesome. They were in line for Flight of Passage first thing in the morning.
And shout out to that gym owner. That's sweet.
It was a car dealership, but there's,
they must have
you say that, who's really.
Hey man, the quickest way to go broke is to have a daughter in cheerleading or any kind of travel sport. I'll say it's ridiculous. Yeah. But let's talk Disney here. So sure. You were just down, and we're going to talk about your trip, and we've talked about your background many times here on the podcast, but I thought I'd catch you up on like what's happening with the Disney news. So we've had, news lately with, Villains Land coming, the changes coming to Liberty Square. I was going to let you, have a couple of minutes here to sound off on what do you think with the latest announcements, the things coming this summer, the kids areas to the Magic Kingdom.
I'm not a person who believes things should be left in amber. Mm-hmm. I'm always very forgiving when things change and Disney tries something new. That said, I really did feel a bit of a pang when we were on the Liberty Bell going around for like one last cruise around the rivers of America. I'm not a nostalgic at the parks. That's just not the way that I travel. That's not the way that I see the world. You look back on the good times, but things change and they're meant to. But it's going to be hard going back and not seeing the rivers of America there. It was a little hard for me not to see the fountain there too at Epcot, but I think they did a really lovely job with what they did there. There's like nice seating. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous at night. I think the area that they made a really nice area that's updated, and it's not just like concrete with a fountain. It feels like a destination, like a place to go and relax with something from the cafe. I miss the fountain for personal reasons, because one of my favorite memories is having food with my now girlfriend at the Electric Umbrella. We shared an order of fries. We watched the fountain for a half hour, and we didn't talk much. We just like sat there, ate fries, and it was like really lovely. Yeah, losing the fountain's good, but I think Disney needs to keep changing. They need to add more. The Rivers of America is beautiful. It's a lot of atmosphere. Thinking like a park owner, it's also a lot of space. And even during the day when we knew it was closing, I went down there. I always go for like a day or two by myself. There still weren't a lot of people on the island. And what normally happens is when something closes, a lot of people go and rush to that attraction and the lines get longer. it still was like, I don't want to say empty, but still it was like we could walk on that island in different places on President's Day weekend and there would be no one there.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that, but also if you're running a company, you got to look at that space and say, this is not being utilized. We're upkeeping all of this. What can we put here that's a draw? You can argue whether Cars Land fits. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I'm glad that they're not just leveling it. I'm glad that they're adding 2 new things. I'm glad that the rivers still are going to remain in Disneyland so that you can see something very similar. And I think the one in Disneyland is actually a little bit better than the one that we have here. I don't know if they have it in other parks around the world. It was tough to say goodbye. We got some good pictures from the boat, and the boat is one of my favorite, low key. I call them dad rides. You get on it, it's a slow moving transportation. You can sit down and like enjoy something that's old.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, we're going to get a lot of new stuff. We're getting the parade coming to the Magic Kingdom this summer. We're going to get the villain show over at the studios. We're going to get new lands, new things to experience. It's kind of the next generation of the park experience. I'm very nostalgic. I hate to see things go because, again, like you said, when you talked about the fries at the Electric Umbrella, I'm thinking about, times I ate at the Electric Umbrella. Was it the best restaurant ever? No, I mean, it got the lowest ratings.
No, it was not. Let's be realistic. It was not a good restaurant.
No, it wasn't. But it was. But I think what it does, and it's there's just people that are, and it's me. It's people like me that have a hard time detaching themselves from nostalgic memories. Is that when you went in the Electric Umbrella, it was definitely like a snapshot of like that time period because of all the neon signs.
Well, we called it the Starship Enterprise.
Well, it looked like an 80s skating rink in there. You know what I'm saying? And like, you just hate to see those kind of atmospheres go away, but they did because the times change.
Right.
It's not has, things are going to happen. Like
and honestly, one of the new things that I loved doing was the Moana Journey of Water. It is probably one of the most well-realized things that they have put in a park, at least since COVID. It is so well done and so fun and educational. Donna, my brother, and I, that's the 3 of us who went, my girlfriend, myself, and my twin brother, Todd. We went in, and you can get as wet as you want to. The kids could go in there and get soaked, or you could, play with your hands, everything over the running water. Everything worked. You could try to, there's this one part where the water comes down in the rocks and you walk a certain speed through it and the water will just stop. And it's like you're walking through the current without getting wet. And the kids were trying to run through it and get wet. Or the part where you could go up, raise your hands, and the water splashes over you or up against the rocks. And in some cases on you, if you sit in one of those spots that you can tell because the wetness on the ground will get you wet.
Yeah, totally.
It was educational because it really did get into the water cycle. I work at a STEAM school, so I was like reading all these things. I'm a read the plaque guy. And it was, I would like to say that it is an almost perfect walkthrough attraction. I feel like I might be hyping it up too much, but that's what I think. One of the best things they've done in forever.
Well, and it brings IP into the park in a way that you don't have to, like, I've seen Moana. I don't see a lot of movies, but I have seen Moana, and I do enjoy that. I enjoy that movie a whole lot. But you don't have to know anything about Moana to have blast in there because, it's the water cycle. It's entertainment at its best. It's
in a great spot, too, because it's basically shows you the water coming on shore. And you go one way, you're at the sea. You go the other way, you're in the land.
I never thought that deep.
Spaced.
I love that. I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
it's when I'm a Disney nerd. I'm like thematically between the 2 pavilions.
Somebody's gave us a like on Facebook too. I see a thumb. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, nailed it. Just shout out to Scotty G, finally back from Hawaii, who's watching over on Instagram. I thought the dude might have. Speaking of Moana, I thought the dude might have joined, moved to Hawaii, got all of his stuff shipped over there.
Scotty, you have my sympathies for having to come back.
I know, seriously. I wanted to call him all day today, but I know he took that flight. Like, he left late from Hawaii yesterday, and I was like, "Dude, guy's got to sleep probably all day today." I don't know. The 7 hours of like time difference, he's got to be jet lagged like nobody's business. So I'm glad he's up and among the living. So I'm going to call him after this podcast, maybe. Anyway, so let's talk about your trip. So you were down there, you got to stay it. Tell us about, because you did a split. You did Beach Club and the Renaissance.
We did. Well, the first one was the Renaissance, which I think is the Renaissance took over one of the hotels at Disney Springs.
Is that the one that used to be the big tall white one?
I don't think it was the B, because it's on the other side. It's right next to the DoubleTree, which I stayed in last time, and I can't really recommend as a hotel. I didn't think it was dingy and old in a dated way, not in a good way. The Renaissance was really nice for a night. The split stay was because I like to go down there a day by myself, but my brother also, to avoid some weather coming in, said it's free to change his airline when weather comes. So he decided to add a day. So I decided to add a day, and we both ended up there. It was nicely appointed. It wasn't the most beautiful hotel, but it was a very nice hotel. The pool is definitely dated, especially like I'm going to talk about the Beach Club pool. I mean, it's a small pool, concrete, so you're not going to go there for the pool. And the bus transportation you had to reserve the bus that you're going to the parks each day, so they kind of had you schedule. But for the price, the bed was comfortable. The staff was really nice. It was a nice walk to Disney Spring, where I met my brother the day we got down. We decided to go to Wine Bar George, because we're both wine people, and I could have sat there and taken 1 ounce pours all day. What Wine Bar George does is you can order the bottles, you can order a standard pour, but you can also order 1 ounce pours for $3 to $7, depending on the wine. It's a wine with a little
I'm not a drinker, so is that like a shot?
It's like you get the wine glass. There's maybe like half an inch at the bottom.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like the way you can taste. You can get a flight of something and you'll pay a discounted price for each one. This is, just a little bit of wine, and they could have taken me for $100 while I was there if my brother didn't stop me. They have won awards for having the best short wine list in America. There in Disney Springs. Everything was delicious. Everyone told me to have the meatballs, which were good, but they're made to complement different wines, and the wines are brought in to complement the food. So the real idea behind the meatballs that were there were, you order the type of red wine that you would have with this, and it's kind of like there's 3 of them. It's kind of like your palate cleanser between the wine. You don't go there for the food, you go there for the wine tastings, even though they have a full menu. In everything there was, top notch. The sommelier, will come and talk to you as long as you want about the wine and what it's like. And wine people really can go into detail about wine. The location is wonderful. We got sat right by the nice windows that overlook the balloon characters in flight and the water. I recommend, especially if you're a wine person. It was a really nice restaurant for wine. My brother went to Gideon's before, and unlike a lot of people who go to Gideon's, he was not impressed with them. He says it's a 20-minute wait for a cookie.
A 20-minute wait. That's low. I can say it's usually
he says the cookie's good, but I'm waiting 20 minutes for it.
Wow.
That's Gideon's. So there you get an idea of my food. I've called myself on the show before a New York food snob, because I go into New York and I'll find the Michelin stars or the Bib Gourmands, and I try to have something there. So that's the way I eat.
I love that though, because I get to learn from you, because I'm a Missouri guy. I'm not even in St. Louis. I'm in, the country outskirts here. And I eat Taco Bell and Texas Roadhouse is a good night for us, on a Saturday night. And so I've never been to Wine Bar George, and I do a few signature things here and there because like when I'm with Scott, I've been to Pusey's. I'm not a total hick, like I've been to Chico, with Pam Forrester and stuff. So I've had, and I go to like Powell.
Not a hick. You like what you like. Don't be
I do
ashamed
like
to
that
like
stuff.
the
I mean,
food
I'm
that you like.
comfortable. Honestly, honest to God, I'm more comfortable at Texas Roadhouse to be dead honest, and I'm comfortable with that. But I do like to experience things in life, right? I mean, I like to have all the experiences. But like if I was at Victoria and Alberts, I'd be sweating bullets the whole time. But I'd enjoy it probably.
Yeah, that is a little stuffy for me too. I'll admit, I want to try it, but I think it's kind of like a one and done. I don't like wearing the jacket. Like if I could go in this flannel that I'm wearing now, I'd be fine. But the jacket, can I put the jacket over the flannel?
I mean, I've worn tuxedos on the cruise before to formal night just because it's fun to look like you're a Secret Service agent every once in a while. But I love this though because I get to learn. I had no idea about the wines and about all this. I love hearing about this, Eric. So that people always rave about Wine Bar George. I never hear anybody that goes, "Oh, I didn't enjoy it." Everybody says,
I'm not recommending it for the food, which was still very good. I'm recommending it for a wine person to go and like really just enjoy some top flight wines with some very, very knowledgeable people. I also stopped at Palo and had like a shot of the really great, what's that tomato called? Gazpacho. They sell gazpacho in these like individual containers that you could like unscrew and just drink while you're walking. That was delicious too. So, walk around with a bottle of gazpacho and just down it while you're walking through Disney Springs. That's living.
So you're right. I mean, the Disney Springs hotels, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of them. I mean, they serve a purpose. I've stayed in them. I've stayed in almost every one of them over the course of Mallory's cheerleading career, because that's where a lot of the cheer comp, because they have to book packages through this company called Varsity, which runs everything in cheerleading. And they would offer the gyms. Either you could stay on site or these Disney Springs hotels. And for some reason, our gym always picked the Disney Springs hotels, and a different one every year. Yeah. I've been to the Holiday Inn. I've been to the B. I've been to the Ramada, everything
You're not getting Disney, but Disney does make sure that they have a certain quality because Disney's name is kind of attached to them. But the problem is that quality, Disney comes in and says, you need to do better.
But the problem is, if you are somebody listening to our show who's been to Walt Disney World many times, what I just kept saying is, no matter what the quality is and all this, like I'd much rather be at All Star Sports just because I am a Disney fan. Like I just want to be in the bubble, right? I mean, it was nice to walk to Disney Springs, which I did every morning and got Earl a sandwich for breakfast and stuff. But I still felt like 1 degree separated from my Disney.
I just did, by the way, the little mwah for Earl a sandwich. The original. I still have to get the original every time I go. And on my last day there, after everyone else had left, said, I got 2 hours. I'm going to hop on a bus. I'm going to go get the original. I'm going to come back and catch my flight. Great sandwiches.
I get the holiday.
I transferred to the beach club after that. And I had this kind of uncanny valley experience. I'm from New England. I live in Connecticut right now near New York. And my aunt would always take us to a place called the Water's Edge, which was a beach club in New England. And walking into the beach club, I'm looking up and I'm like, it's the exact same color scheme and entry. Someone must have been here. And then I went back and looked at pictures of the interior from back in the day, and the lobby feels like the lobby of the New England Beach Club, which for me was kind of like, I'm expecting my aunt to walk around the corner any minute now and usher us into the restaurant or something. It was really lovely. They really captured it just about perfectly. And it was built in the 1990s, I think.
Yeah, so Michael Eisner probably visited there.
Right. Someone visited the clubs up here because the colors are just right. The ambiance on the inside, even with the new lobby, is just right. The rooms were nice and big, although we were on the we were on the 3rd floor, and I'll have to pull the dad homeowner out of this. Disney, clean your gutters. I was getting worried. You gotta have someone go through and fix that. Apropos nothing. Lovely view. clean your gutters. And it was a 5-minute walk to Epcot. And I had plantar fasciitis at the time, which as a runner, is a pain on the inside of the arch of your foot.
Yeah, keep that away from me. That is not cool.
It is worse in the morning, and it kind of loosens up as the day goes on if you're wearing some good shoes for it. And even as I was like slowly limping to the park every day, it still only took me 5 minutes, and we were at one of the further rooms from the front of the park. That is like the big draw. I don't know if this is the hotel for me. The food was at the quick service was not great. It probably has the weakest quick service that I've been
agree
to.
there. Yep.
And there's no seating. You have to go either outside or around the corner and down a hall into the solarium. But the hotel, for the location, you're there for the location and you're there for the pool. We got a good deal on it because the pool was closed. Yep. If we didn't have that good deal, we'd have been back. I'd have been back at Wilderness Lodge, which is I think my first love of Disney resorts. But if you're going to stay for the pool, if you want to be walking distance to Epcot, it can't be beat. And the price is cheaper than the other two hotels there too, I think. So I would recommend it. I also want to add, I travel with a CPAP now. Oh my God, I sound like such a old man. I had plantar fasciitis. I travel with a CPAP.
This is the old man show. I was telling my wife, my shoulder hurts because it's raining when I came down to the studio.
So yeah, 52, man. No, 51. I don't want to age myself too much.
Same here.
As an aside, on the trip, I went to a Dunkin' Donuts and they just gave me the senior discount.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, I wanted to have to show my ID. I'm not old enough yet. I will
not take it. I will not.
So I was kind of insulted. I still took the free coffee, but I was kind of insulted. I don't look that old. It's the gray and the beard.
I will pay extra. I will pay the going rate. And I'm super cheap.
Same here. That's why I took the coffee. Anyway, where was I? So I travel with a CPAP, and one of the things you need for the newer ones is they have a humidifier chamber that uses distilled water. I was concerned about getting distilled water for it at Disney, but Disney is very smart. At the shops, they keep gallons of distilled water in the back for people who request it for medical purposes like this. So you can go up to the desk, or you can go to more likely the store where you get all the toiletries and Advil and things. And they will bring you for $2.99, which is not a bad price for a gallon of the water that you need to run the machine.
That's good.
You have to request it, and please. These are for the distilled waters for medical purposes. It's you can drink it, but it's not great for drinking. So $2.99. You're getting the little things of the water there. They're like $5 for a little plastic bottle. So it's a good price because Pure Life is one of the brands. I think around here it can be up to $2.49. So there's not much of an upcharge for it. So if you're traveling with a CPAP, you can go and you can get the water down there. You don't have to travel with the water in your suitcase. Also, or as a carry-on. Also, as placement of the machine, the nightstands that they have in between the beds, for mine, which is a ResMed, people who know CPAPs will know what I'm talking about. It was a little small and very cramped to fit it on. So I moved it to the side with the desk, and it fit very, very nicely over there. If you're getting something with a king bed that doesn't have a desk next to it, just understand that it's going to take a little wiggle room to get it to fit on the nightstand that's between the beds. You want to do the one that's on the side.
Good tips. And that'll help folks that are going down, because a lot, again, the hotel rooms look different. And a lot of folks, maybe it's the first time traveling with CPAP.
Everyone's a little different, but you'll always be able to get the water. And since it's humid, you're not going to go through it as much. And the 1 gallon lasted me the entire trip. I actually had some left over, whereas here in Connecticut, it just evaporates like that every night. So
Good tip. You got to put people at ease. That way, ease of the worry free. All right, so let's because I want to make sure we get into the theme park stuff too, because I also want to talk about a couple of the restaurants towards the end. But how was the theme parks during this time? Because, like you said, it could have been busy, could maybe not.
During the week, it was some of the best things I ever saw. The largest line was for the Tiger Cub, where
online.
Get there early. And I walk my first day. I'm torn on myself, and I did 4 parks in 4 days. I walked into Animal Kingdom like, I'll go see the Tiger Cub. And I show up and I go, is this where the line is? She goes, yes, it's a 2.5 hour wait. Like,
that is
thank you.
Sure,
it's adorable. I'll go home and watch, National Geographic. We're good.
Because we have a free zoo here in St. Louis, and we have tigers. Yeah. I mean, like, I've seen tigers my whole life. I mean, I guess the Tiger Cub is.
No, I mean, it's cool. And like, but in the afternoon, the line disappears because the tiger's either inside or it's asleep. So I got to see a sleeping Tiger Cub.
Well, I mean, then it just looks like a stuffed animal, I guess.
Yeah, it's not playing, but it's still nice. Really great. I didn't notice how great the aviaries are until this trip, when I actually spent some time in them, like looking at each bird and taking pictures of them. I'm not a bird guy, but I think a lot of people just walk through. Oh, there's a nice one. There's a nice bird. That's cute. They really were spending some time in the experts there. Like they really know their stuff. They're great exhibits. If you get a chance, take your time, slow down when you're there. Animal Kingdom is a great place to slow down.
I haven't been back there in a long time. I mean, I remember the bats a long time ago. They were interesting.
They're still there.
Yeah. See, I haven't. I see. You're encouraging me to do that again, because
we also
decade
took some of the paths through the Tree of Life, which was nice. My girlfriend had a friend's daughter who was working at the Starbucks there, so we went to see her and say hi, take a quick picture, FaceTime with mom, and to get there during her break, we cut through the paths on the Tree of Life, and no one was on them, while the rest of the paths were really, really crowded. So if you want to get like across that big park quickly, like go right behind, I think, at the entrance of It's Tough to Be a Bug, and it brings you out right by the Starbucks. It was also my first time at Nomad Grill, Nomad Lounge, I'm sorry, which was good. I really liked the nice little spot to stop in the middle of the day. And Dinosaur was nice to say goodbye to, one of my low-key favorite rides at the park. I really have loved it since it was there. And for the first time ever, I had to wait in a line for it. Oh. I mean, I never used to be like 5 minutes, 4 minutes, walk on, walk right in. No, there's a whole queue out to the right of that with like dinosaur statues and things. I had no idea it existed.
Oh, you went out by like the ferns and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I've had to wait out there
like every time I've gone, it's been a walk on. I guess with it closing, and sometimes with Disney, when they know they're closing a ride, effects begin to stop working. It was in really good condition. So, go say goodbye. You don't have to worry about seeing things that are, not up to keep, because it's in really good shape for a ride that they're closing. And the new Nemo show there. I'm not a show person, but Donna really enjoyed it. She thought it was better than the older one.
Did you guys say goodbye to Tough to Be a Bug? You're not a show person, but just do that?
I really don't like that, so I decided to spend my time elsewhere.
I just wondered, because we had, that was going away too. Because you're in the neighborhood there. I was wondering, you cut through the Tree of Life.
Not my show. It's not a bug thing. It's more of I just like. It's more the moment where the things crawl behind you.
No, it's got to be. Some people don't like that.
How can we make this show more unpleasant? I know. Let's pretend there's maggots under your seat.
Ricky swears that's the truth. I think it's hilarious. But Ricky, I know a lot of people say that.
Not my sense of humor.
Playing with bugs.
One of the weird things that happens while we were there, the entire Magic Kingdom had a power failure.
I remember that.
The entire park went down.
You were in there?
We had eaten at Steakhouse 71, which was excellent. My brother was on the meal plan. I wasn't, because he was in a separate room. We're twins. We don't do well in the same room together. And
you already spent your time together a long time.
Yeah, we've done time. We were those twins who had a tape line literally down the middle of the room. so that my stuff wouldn't get on his side.
I get it.
It was literal. We had a tape line, and we argued about where the tape line would be.
I love it.
He had a mission to really make the meal plan worth it. So we went to steakhouse, and he got like the prime steak. He got the filet, the $59 filet. We went to Kona, and he got the most expensive thing on the menu there. By the way, Kona, it's a cheat code. It's always a good meal there. I have not had something that I don't like. If you can't get, you will not be disappointed with what you get at Kona. So by the time we totaled it up, and he had done $200 over the price of the meal plan, just because he would I'm going to get the most expensive thing, and I'm going to add the line, and I'm going to get this. I'm just eating it all, and it was a great time for him with the food. The only one he was disappointed with was the Liberty Tree, because it's a fixed price.
Yep.
It's like, well, I can't game this one.
Nope, you can't.
Liberty Tree is a new favorite restaurant for us. We thought it was absolutely delicious. Everything there was really good. The salad is definitely something to write home about. Excellent meal there. Really, really well themed. Bigger restaurant than you think from the outside. Great experience there. High recommend. Anyway,
I'm with you on Liberty Tree. The only issue I have with Liberty Tree is when I walk out of that place, I am in pain. I have no restraint because it's my kind of food. It's at Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And then I eat too much of that, then they bring out that dessert, and oh my gosh.
Oh God, so good.
That dessert, I'm like, one more bite. I have one more bite at 12 times. I mean, and it's 3 more desserts. It's crazy.
They bookend that meal. The salad is incredible. The ooby gooey is fantastic. The middle, yeah, it's fine. It's good. But they brought the turkey. I'm like, just keep bringing more salad.
Yeah,
bringing more salad.
They should not let you just do that. They should be like, sir, you're going to be in pain. I know. I see this all day. Please.
Luckily, afterwards, we went to the fireworks show where Donald Will Talk to Anyone got into this wonderful conversation with his couple from Brazil. And I just got to sit there and digest, or stand there and digest.
It's fireworks and digestion.
Yeah. Anyway, I was talking, the whole park went down. We had gone from Steakhouse to see the Tiki Birds, which was his favorite show. And we got there, and Pirates is down and the Tiki Birds, and so I'm like, okay, let's walk around the corner to see the Country Bears. We get there, and Country Bears is down. And we pull out the app, and it's like everything has a black star next to it. The only thing that's open is Tron. And we look at the guide, he goes, oh, they're evacuating Tron now too. They'd said that this had almost never happened before. There was a major electrical failure on one of the lines going in. And it took them a lot of the night to prepare. And they were rushing to do it because they had a ticketed event that night. So, we hightailed it out of there while we were on the monorail back. The person who was there said, what's going on? Why is everyone leaving so early? We don't understand. Well, take a look at our app. And I saw their jaws just drop. These are things that happen sometimes. You can't plan for them. Everyone's experienced the power going out. And Disney has multiple power lines coming in there. It was just this major failure. And high compliments to the cast members, who I'm sure are getting a whole bunch of grief from people.
100%.
It really isn't their fault. And they were so professional, so nice, so sympathetic about it. We were fine. We went over to Epcot and ended our day just relaxing there by the statue. I've honestly never seen anything like that happen in Disney Park, and I hope it never happens again.
Yeah, it was great. I remember seeing it on social media that night. Really, everybody was like, whoa, what is going on? But yeah, they bounced back, rather quickly, because that was a major deal that night.
Oh, they have to. That's a all hands on deck.
100%.
They could have gone, well, after the fireworks show, we'll just close the night and forget it. But they have that ticketed event going on, and they're not going to be refunding. They don't want to refund that.
that gives them incentive to get.
Yeah.
Because I picture, I mean, I think you're a movie guy, like that
Yeah.
GIF from the movie Airplane, where the guy unplugs the thing when the airplane's getting ready to land in the tower.
Yeah. Well, that's great. This what I just did is great for an audio podcast.
Exactly.
Pulls it off and he like
everybody knows what we're talking about. Yeah, he unplugs that, like
pulls the radar out.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what everybody was sharing that night. Pretty much
to quickly wrap up the food, we also did space, which was good food, but I didn't think it was a great value. It's a nice experience. I did it once. A lot of it is based on where you're sitting. We were right up against the windows at the left side, and if you're sitting back away from the windows, it's a much better view.
Yep.
And then I don't like feeling a little nickel and dimed at a restaurant, but there you get, for your 50-something dollars, you get your appetizer and your meal. No soda, no drinks, no dessert. And they would say, would you like to get a dessert? Would you like to add on soda? It says, would you like to add on soda that? Everywhere else in Disney, I'm like, for this $55, we would get everything included. There wasn't salt and pepper. Like, we had to ask for the salt and pepper to be placed on our table. And I think that kind of ruined the experience of it. If you have kids, they're going to love it. My suggestion is do the lounge if you can get the lounge and skip the regular meal. It was nice that we did that. We also did Woody's Roundup, which was a good meal. Middle of the road, fine.
But I've done Space 220. I enjoyed it, but it's not one of those places I have to go every trip. I still have been back. But I'm a space nut, right? I worked at Space Camp and all that stuff. I mean, I'm a huge space nut. Now, it is a great experience. Everybody should check it out, I think. But it is not a place that you're going to return to time and time again, because once you're
paying for the experience there.
Exactly. It's almost like an attraction and it's like a dinner show. But so Woody's, though, you say kind of decent, because I still haven't been there. Barbecue's my jam, but there's just so many places at Walt Disney World.
I mean, it's decent. It's a fun restaurant. I don't think it's a must. Kids will like it. There's something there for everyone. It is definitely meat based. There is like the coleslaw was in like a tiny thing of coleslaw buried amongst an entire plate of ribs. It really has that backyard barbecue feel of dad just fires up the grill and you are eating meat for the rest of the time. So if you don't want meat sweats in the middle of a hot day, maybe save it for the evening. Yes. It was good though. It was a good restaurant. Just be prepared for meat or impossible meat, which is, the plant-based meat.
Yep. Sounds like some, not when it's, even though it does sound like a 4th of July meal, maybe not on the 4th of July at noon. That's probably a bad decision.
Yeah.
In the studios. So what else was anything happening that was did you have any, I'm trying to think, you were down there, was Festival of the Arts going on or Flower and Garden?
Oh yeah. Festival of the Arts was there, which is like on the down low, like a really good festival.
I agree. I love that festival.
They did the area of it's still Communicore. Is it still called Communicore Hall?
I believe so.
It had been a merchandise area for the other festivals, but this year they brought in Broadway. They had props and costumes and a little bit of the history of the Broadway shows that Disney has done, starting with Newsies, which I saw, and going through The Lion King, which is on there now. It was really well done. It was an excellent use of the place. The props were fantastic. They really showed what it was like to create the props from The Lion King. They had a copy of the workbench there and actual props that were used. The giraffe was incredible. And there was like these cool little photo ops where you could take a picture rubbing the lamp from the genie, or another one where you could stand on Pride Rock holding up a stuffed Simba, which was fun, like really ham it up on that. I hope they keep doing that. They have such a vast archive, and that is a perfect place to do an exhibition of like Disney horticulture, or I don't know what you could do for food and wine, but they really have something there if they use it the way that they did for the Festival of the Arts.
I don't know if it's big enough, but I like what they used to do for festival for food and wine, like what they used to do over in the what's it called the big world show place where
Yeah.
they could have little stations of culinary demonstrations going on. Not full on
Yeah.
like when you go to the class, but you could go in and get those nitrogen dipped whatever ice creams or whatever. There were just like little stations where you could just
Right.
try some different cool stuff in there real quick because it's a great location. Boom,
It is. I haven't been there since to Food and Wine in a while, and I really want to get back to it. But like teacher schedule, that's falls a hard time for us to get down there. And I don't think I want to do weekends anymore, where you fly in on Friday night and you leave on Sunday night. I've gotten a little too old for that. It was great. We also got to ride Tron for the first time, which was perfect for our old bones at only like a minute and a half, because the thing hit Donna's back and she's like, oh, we're gonna be like this the whole time. And by the time we got off of it, we were like, yeah, I don't think we want a good ride. I don't think we want to do two more of that at like our mid 50s.
Yeah, you can almost hold your breath for that long of a ride, right? I mean, it's like seriously, worst case, you can hold your breath.
It's a nice ride. I would do it again. And Disney Magic Kingdom needs rides like that. We also thought Tiana's was very well done. It was also a fun ride as well. So good on that. Country Bears 2 was new. I thought it was better than the old show.
People are saying that. I don't know why I missed it last time. I was like, I meant to do it, and I walked past it like 5 times.
It's become to older to Disney people a very skippable thing, because it's been the same thing and the same jokes since like the 1970s.
I love the show. I can't. I'm so mad at myself for not going in.
But the old jokes are good, but they're kind of narrow. They're country jokes, hillbilly jokes, and I think like that sense of humor has changed. They kept a lot of the spirit of the Country Bears and included the Disney songs, and I like that they're using different Disney songs now. Like they're not all using the same ones that you hear for everything. So good change there. And I absolutely love the new nighttime show at Epcot.
See, I have not seen that. I've been there 3 times, but I've been there for 3 straight race weekends, and I cannot stay out.
Yeah,
to see the fireworks.
I got to get up at 2:30. Waking up at 2:00 in the morning to get in the crowd.
Well, now, because you've been a Disney fan for quite a while, where would you put it with like Epcot Forever, Harmonious, Illuminations? Where would you put it on that scale?
I'd put it under Illuminations, but above the other ones.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for Epcot shows. I'll say that they put together my favorite shows. And Donna says there was a sense that it had a little bit of World of Color DNA with all the fountains in it. The message of it was good. It hit the message of unity. They integrated all of the pavilions very, very well. The songs weren't all the songs that you're used to hearing in Disney nighttime shows. They had different ones and slightly different versions of them, which I always appreciate. The fireworks were really, really well done. I thought it was just an excellent show that I'm looking forward to seeing again and again and again and again.
I got to see it. I just got to, for once I got to be down there when I'm not racing the next morning at 5 a.m. It's been a bad thing. I love racing, but it's like every time I'm there, I'm doing a race. Got to get down there outside of.
Speaking of racing, did an interesting thing where I timed the Skyliner over from our hotel to the studios, the boat and walking, and basically found the boat to be the fastest every time.
The boat.
This is what the cast member said. And I didn't quite believe them. I'm like, it can't be. But he said, if you catch the boat at the beach club, after the beach club, it only has one more stop, and they run about every 10 minutes or so. So say you just miss it. It's 10 minutes. It has one more stop, and then it goes straight to the studios, and then from the studios it goes straight back. The Skyliner took an average of about 40 minutes each time we went, and the boat was about between 25 and 35. If the boat is sitting there, get on the boat, it'll be much faster.
See, I would have never thought that. I thought the boat would be taking a lot longer, and it's also going to save you a lot of steps if you're at the beach.
Right.
I mean, if you don't want to walk all the way over to the Skyliner.
Yeah, it moves more slowly, but the Skyliner has a longer
it's
path
got the
that it has to go. Plus, you have to disembark
and
get in the line to get on another Skyliner, and that's where it loses the time.
Yeah, and it depends how many people are at Caribbean Beach. But what I say is use all Disney transportation. It's part of the fun.
Skyliner's fun.
Exactly. You do them both. You got to ride a boat. You got to ride a monorail. You got to ride you got to do it all. It's, even a bus at some point. You got to take a bus. Yeah, you got to do it. It's part of the deal.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that they gave out bus tokens now.
I got one my last
trip.
Did it look like wood? Is like
a little wood. It looked like a wheel.
One of those, yeah.
And I'm like, this has got to be just a thing that this particular bus driver is given out, because he was very happy because he was 2 days away from retirement. And he's like,
I'd be happy too.
Well, there was one moment where we were there on the Epcot bus, and he's like, well, I'm supposed to stay here for a certain amount of time. He says, but I'm not going to get in trouble at this point. He looks at everyone. He turns around to the 8 of us on the bus and he goes, how many of you here want a magical moment and get back to your resort 4 or 5 minutes early?
Let's roll.
Yeah. And he goes, all right, I retire. He was like the cop who has 2 days left and doesn't care anymore. He's like, I'm rolling now. They can write me up. I'm done tomorrow.
I'd be careful. Guy's last day is going to take the bus home with him.
Yeah, he was great. I gave him a cast compliment at the bottom there. Mentioned his name. He says, "Everyone, tell him you give me I gave a magical moment, and that's what we'll." Okay, magical moment. There we go. He gave us those little wooden tokens with the wheel. Walt Disney World on them, which is a nice little plus. What was the circumstances of you getting yours?
I just got on the bus at the studios. That's the day I was down with my dad. When we didn't have tickets, right? My dad didn't want to go to a park. He had on penny loafers. I'd have killed him if I'd have taken him into a theme park that day. So I just wanted to show him a little bit of Walt Disney World. So I was like, we'll do a monorail, we'll do a Skyliner. Took him to Beach Club for lunch. And then we went to Olivia's that night for dinner. So I just, took him around, we rode a boat. So, I showed him the entrance, we went past the Magic Kingdom on the monorail. We rode the monorail, inside, the loop inside of Epcot. So we kind of see what it looked like inside Epcot, stuff like that. Well, when we were over at the studios to catch the Skyliner, it was down. I couldn't believe it. That's where we were going to start to ride the Skyliner, go over to, because we're at Coronado. Took a bus to Coronado. It's like, we'll ride the Skyliner first. Get over there, down. I'm like, you got to be. And so I'm like, man, I've been building this all up for my dad. This is what I do. This is what I do for a living, all this stuff. You really know what you're doing, don't you? Every first thing we do is get over to the Skyliner, down. I'm like, okay, we're switching plans. We're going to get on a bus. We're going to go to the Magic Kingdom and try from there. So when we got on a bus there, this bus driver was just like, hey, everybody, he was super happy. He just gave everybody these little things as you got on. He did, boom. And it was only, it was like 10 in the morning. He's like, let's go. And there's same thing, 6 people on the bus. And just happy to give everybody a token.
My old broadcasting instincts are coming in. I'm seeing the timer says 52 minutes. So I want to make sure I get 2 more things in.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we got about 5-6 minutes left. So yeah.
So the day that I was on my own, I went to the Magic Kingdom, and I went there during the fireworks. I posted in the Discord the video of me alone in Pirates of the Caribbean. It is just me on my own boat with nobody there going through Pirates of the Caribbean, which was a surreal and absolutely amazing experience.
Or some people's nightmare. Could be.
Yeah. No, Small World is a nightmare. Small World's a nightmare. This was quite nice. And when I got out, the park was empty because everyone was watching the fireworks. And I started at the Pirates of the Caribbean Plaza, and I took a picture of the fireworks over the archway that's there. And then I walked around and I took a picture of the fireworks with nobody standing there in front of to Tortuga. It used to be Tortuga, but that place that's going to be the Pirate Lounge near where Pecos Bill is. And then I walked around and got the fireworks, took picture of the fireworks over the empty rivers of America. I took picture of the fireworks over the empty Hall of Presidents with like the red flames shooting up over the sky. I got it over the walkway between Fantasyland and the Liberty Square, and I got them by Peter Pan. It was like this fireworks photo safari. And I'm looking back at the pictures now, and I'm like, there's truly nobody in any of these pictures. It was amazing experience, like walking through an empty park with fireworks going on all around me.
Now, is that true? Because I took a picture in Disneyland when I was out there in February for the races. It was a sunset picture in Frontierland that I loved. Mm-hmm. And there were like 8, maybe 10 or 12 people probably in the picture. And because of the new Apple update, I just wiped them out. It looks like there's nobody standing in Frontierland under the sign.
These are legit with nobody in them. I was walking around. Okay, on this one that I'm looking at now, there is one person way off to the right. I think it's a cast member. But like the Hacienda, the picture over Pecos Bill, empty streets.
That's awesome. No, because it is kind of strange because you can be there during the busiest times, and every once in a while you will catch a stretch. Like even in the Magic Kingdom, where like, where's everybody? You get that on the cruise ships all the time. You know, there's 4,000 people on a cruise ship, and you get up early in the morning, you're like,
everyone's asleep.
Where'd everybody go? Like, if I'm the only one on this ship, it's so weird.
The other awesome experience we had that everyone has said you have to do, and I'll go on this. We went to Animal Kingdom, and we wanted to do Flight of Passage, but it was like that Saturday of President's Day weekend. The parks were going to be at their most crowded. So we wake up early, we go there, and we get in, and the line already says 110 minutes. So we're like, nope, not doing it. We went and got like the 4th or 5th safari truck, and everything was awake. The zebras were running across the savannah. The lions, all 3 of them, were hanging on the edge of the rocks, staring down the rhinos on the other side like they wanted to just go and grab a quick breakfast. Everything was up. Everything was active. Do yourself a favor and get the early safaris. Best thing. I do that instead of Flight of Passage if you've already done Flight of Passage.
Well, that's old school, right? I mean, before Flight of Passage, that was the thing to do.
That was the rope drop.
I mean, that was before Everest. That was rope drop, and then Everest, and that kind of went back and forth.
And it's an easy one to get now, first thing in the morning. So if you've already done Flight of Passage and you have a day, take some time out. Do the early morning safari. Really, really good experience.
Well, Eric, hey, it's so good to talk to you again. Great tips, and thanks for taking us down to Walt Disney World. So what do you got on the horizon here soon? Anything coming up? Anything?
I have a surprise Disney cruise next week. My girlfriend was looking through a whole bunch of things. She says, oh, this is a really good rate. So I am hopping on the Dream, the only Disney cruise ship I've ever been on. I've been on one, so it's not like I've cruised a lot. And me and her 2 daughters are going down to Cozumel.
Nice.
For April, for spring break. Nice to get a last minute cruise in. We were thinking that this is something we would be able to do when we retire, but no, like we were just looking at things like, okay, let's go for this. My first trip with the 2 girls. I'm looking forward to a nice, relaxing time.
Good luck with that. It'll be awesome. It's awesome, but I mean, yeah.
Well, she said the nice thing about the Disney cruise ships is, hey, you're going to the club, right? We're going to be in the adults only section for a while. Yeah. We're going to be at this chair. Go everywhere you want, and you don't see them for a few hours.
100%, Eric. You need 2 words: vibe and edge. Those are the 2 key words.
I think they'll be. It'll be fine. And the girls are great. So the only thing I am is like, this is my first time sharing a room on a vacation with 3 different women.
So I do this all the time, and let me just tell you, the one thing I've had to do in the past in your situation is I've had to shower in the senses like the club up there, the rainforest room. I've had to go up there, like where you get your shower after you run in the morning in the gym. I've showered up there before. So
I was thinking about buying the census thing this trip.
Yep, I have.
So is it worth it? What do you think of it?
I mean, I have, because I like those heated. They have these heated stone like lounger things. Oh, but the problem is I just fall asleep. And so, is it worth it to pay the money? But it is good sleep, and those things. I have a really tore up back for all the running I do. So yeah, maybe. I mean, it is vacation. It's time to treat yourself. I usually just buy it for Pam if she wants it, but yeah, I have. And then they have all the scented showers and all that kind of stuff. Again, it's a splurge. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Sometimes you got to just spend the money and treat
Sometimes yourself. You do. You're exactly right. Well,
we're Disney people.
We are.
One thing we do is spend money and treat ourselves.
Well, I mean, I have 2 daughters. They spend it for me, so I just give the credit card and be like, you know what? I'll just keep wearing the same clothes for 10 years.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to being my first vacation with them. As the family.
You have a blast. 100%.
With their family unit.
Yeah, it's going to be so fun. So we'll have to talk about it. Give us a holler on a Sunday night show and give us some lights, and then we'll do a show about it. So, hey, have fun. And we're legends down in Cozumel. Scotty G, Paige, and myself were two-time
champions.
Winners, if they ask.
I'll look for the black.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure right on the water. We like a statue of Phil Kagan or Kogan, whatever his name is.
Yep, and right next to them, a little bit smaller, are you two.
Exactly. Eric, you take care of yourself, and good luck with the school year. Finish it up for us.
Okay,
all right. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your next Disney adventures out there. Go have some fun. We'll help you plan that next trip for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so much for your support over on Patreon. You guys make this all possible. The video hosting, the audio hosting, the bandwidth, all that stuff. It's because of your support on Patreon. $5 a month is all it costs. And for that support, get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest every week. Coming over this week, we'd love to have you at patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. You can give me a follow on the social media at beourguestmike. I'm on X, Instagram, and Threads. And we'll have a live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And Scotty G's back. So give us a call. We could talk Disney, and Scott will have all of his Hawaiian. He'll be saying "oh no" and stuff like that. He's practically native of the islands at this point. So yeah, give us a call. We'll be talking all the fun Disney news. And in between, join us in the clubhouse. We have fun over there. It's our Discord server. It's like a live chat that goes 24/7 with great Disney friends. We have about 1,300 folks over there right now. Coming over. It's beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Free for everybody. We'll see you over there today. All right, we're going to jump out of here. We'll be back again on Wednesday with more of your listener questions. But until then, for Eric out in Connecticut, who's finishing up a school year, and we appreciate all of our teachers. I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. That's a good show.
Oh, I wanted to ruin the the outro. I want to go Huskies.
Oh,
ladies are still in it.
You guys are in the Final Four.
Yeah, the ladies are still in it. We still got one group there. The men, eventually the dynasties, do end. We've been winning a lot, so that's fine. I want the ladies to do well and maybe stop the All California championship that people are talking about.
My daughter's going to be down there to see the Final Four.
Oh, cool.
She goes every year. Because she works in women's basketball, and her and the coach and the coaching staff always goes to the Final Four. They don't go to the games, but they there's like coaches clinics.
There's a lot of stuff that they do around it.
Yeah, it's like basically like PD for teachers, but it's for coaches and programs. And so they're going to be down in Tampa, and so she's excited. They leave, I think today. Maybe they left today. Tomorrow. I don't know. They go down. Yeah, probably tomorrow. But yeah, Paige buckets. She's playing well, so we'll see how that goes. I'd like to see somebody besides South Carolina win. So
yeah, well, we did get lucky with that poor girl who had the injury.
Yeah, Juju.
Thank you. That was her name. Yeah, I don't mind beating a team, like even though there's an injury, that's part of sports, but it does take some of the
Yeah.
bragging rights away, like when their best player's out
Yeah.
and you beat them. Like
Yeah.
probably the best player in women's basketball right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's I know it always is like that mixed bag, right? You want to beat the team with their best effort, but
Yeah.
you also want
But
to beat the team.
you'll still take it.
You want to beat the team. I'm
Right.
competitive too. Like I just want to win sometimes. I get it. I get it. Well, hey,
Yeah.
you take care. Hey, if I don't talk to you, have a good time on that cruise, man. Well
Oh,
deserved.
thanks.
Have fun in 687 too. That's one of my favorite places. Love that
6.
place.
Oh,
Well, it's a sports bar. That's where I like to go.
yeah, got it. I don't know the ship that well yet.
Oh, it's fun. That's where they have
Okay.
all the tastings and all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Times. Yep. Okay, well, have fun. I'm
Right.
gonna run and edit this thing up. All right,
Take
I'll see
care.
you later. All right, see you
Bye.
guys. All right, bye-bye. All right, I will catch you guys. Let's see, when's our next podcast recording? Sunday live show. But I'll see you in the clubhouse. brguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. See you tonight or tomorrow or soon. Oh, here, we can do this. Hang on, let's see. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. You're for a treat today because we are headed down to Walt Disney World with friend of the show, Eric from Connecticut, as we talk about his trip down there to Walt Disney World with a split stay. He stayed a night at the Renaissance at Disney Springs to kick off the trip, and then he switched over to Disney's Beach Club Resort. We talk about fun times in the theme parks there during the Festival of the Arts period and had some fun with that. Also, we talk about great meals at places like Wine Bar George, Liberty Tree Tavern, Space 220, and more. And also, what's going on with the Disney parks right now and why nostalgia has its place, but Disney also needs to keep marching into the future. Lots of great thoughts on today's show. Get ready for some fun Disney talk. Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. We could not do this without your support. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Be Our Guest podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2670 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rolvin from Be Our Guest Podcast. Is on the horizon, like you can see it. And Eric and I were talking in the pre-show. They're down to, 45, 50.
We're there the weekend before President's Day weekend. Yep. I think I posted that in the Discord.
I'm here on the podcast, but I thought I'd catch you up on like what's happening with the Disney news. So we've had stuff. We're getting the parade coming to the Magic Kingdom this summer. Again, the villain show over at the studios. We're going to get new lands, new things to experience. It's kind of the next generation of the park experience. I'm very nostalgic. I hate to see things go because, again, like you said, when you talk
while you're walking through Disney Springs, that's living. Please, these are for the distilled water down. We had gone from steakhouse to
fireworks when I got to get up at 2:30.
Waking up at 2:00. It is just me on my own boat with nobody there going through Pirates of the Caribbean, which was a surreal and absolutely
in the morning. You're like,
everyone's
everybody. Social media at Be Our Guest Mike. I'm on X, Instagram. Appreciate all of our teachers. I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks.
Bloody nose. All right, everybody, I'm going to jump out of here and publish the show. All right, I'll see you guys on Sunday.